All right, hi. My name is Evan Klein, and this is our final presentation for D590. The purpose of this project was to cluster a large amount of shopping behavior and consumer information from a public Kaggle dataset. The methodology we took was to visualize and help users understand how different types of clustering and techniques such as PCA can help to visualize clusters and hidden patterns within the data. Um, my name is Evan Klein. I'm a data scientist and software engineer from Indianapolis, and I am going to be earning my degree in spring of 2026. Anna?
I'm Anna Graves. I am hoping to graduate by the end of next year, and yeah, I work for Samaritan's Purse.
And hi, I'm Alex Jurcich. I graduate in a couple of weeks on December 19th this year. I'll let Evan continue with his clustering section or overview.
With our clustering sandbox, this is one of the pages that we've got in our demo. This page allows users to play with the data and visualize clusters using a number of different clustering technologies. So at the top, you can select your data set, which we have a couple different versions of our data set with different versions of processing on them. They can select a clustering method and play with the different levels of hyperparameters to tune the model to try and determine more interesting or different types of clustering and how it might affect the data. And then lastly, we have this add clustering to gallery button, which is intended to be used by users when they find a interesting clustering pattern. They can go ahead and click that, and it will save the data to, save the visualization, I should say, to our gallery right here so that we can go back and re-experiment with some of these later on. Anna's now going to talk about her map components as well as some clustering that she did.
Yes, so this is to show how clusters are spread across the US by state. And if you hover over any of the states, it should show the breakdown of clusters. And this is using predefined fields. So if you go over to feature graphs, you can see an explanation of how the different clusters work. So we can see like subscription status, review rating. So this is why some of the clusters might be different from what Evan was showing. And so you can learn more about the patterns there. And then if you go to the cluster section, this is one of the views to see how the different clusters relate to each other. So an example is how the green cluster and yellow cluster are very similar to each other, except for a difference of one field. So this is just to help people understand, like if they want to target specific regions by different behaviors. And next is the segments.
So now I'll walk through the segment section of our application. And this is where we take the outputs of our clustering work and turn them into insights that stakeholders and clients can actually use. So starting with the definitions page, before we look at any segments themselves, it's really important to highlight the three behavioral variables that drive the entire segmentation: purchase amount, promo code usage, and subscription status. And these three variables stood out in our analysis as the strongest and most consistent indicators of different shopping behaviors. Um, Now, if we go to the Explorer page, this is uh, which makes the segmentation interaction, and we used a random forest classifier trained on our cluster data. And this page produces three sliders, one for each behavioral variable. And as you adjust them, the model predicts which new shopper would belong to it and why. So for example, if we set a shopper to around $100 and we always used promo codes and stay subscribed, the model would classify them as a loyal deal seeker. And then if you drop the spend and set both subscription status and promo usage to 0, it shifts them to a casual minimum buyer. So overall, these two pages show how clustering and machine learning can be turned into practical interpretable tools. And yep, that's it.
I think that with this application overall, it gives users a good tool and a good set of tools, I should say, to hopefully visualize some interesting information within our shopping data. There's a lot of interesting information that could be pulled to determine customer behavior or trends, right sales that make sense based on seasonality and things like that. And all of that can be understood and learned via some of these clustering techniques that are on display in this application. And with that, I think that's probably all of our application's functionality. So thanks for a good semester.